There are explainer videos, and then there are explainer videos that get the job done. This video is about the latter. Today we're going to be covering the key steps you need to create an effective explainer video that establishes your brand's value proposition in under 3 minutes. Sounds super useful, right? Let's jump in. First of all, what is an explainer video? Basically, it's a short video that explains what your business does and how it solves your customers' problems. And that brings us to the first point. The first thing you want to think about is the length of the video. You want to keep your explainer video short. Anywhere from 1 to 3 minutes is fine, but the sweet spot is going to be the 90-second mark. That gives you enough time to establish your brand and ask your customers to take action, but hopefully not enough time for them to get too bored. For example, here's a video we made to explain what InVideo does in a really fun way, and as you can see, we wrapped everything up in less than 90 seconds. And now that you know that you need to keep your video short, you can start writing the script. You're going to need to keep your script very concise. Think about the very basics of your business that you need to explain and go from there. Every line should either be moving your video forward or clarifying what you're explaining. If you find any lines that don't accomplish one of those two tasks, cut them out. For example, in our explainer video, we could have spent a lot more time explaining the exact steps you need to create the invitation. But instead, we opted to just show that really quickly through the visuals on screen, and that was enough for that video. We have longer tutorials on our channel that go into a lot more detail, but for this short explainer video, that wasn't necessary. Or we could have added lines like, look how easy that was, or look how quick that was. But those lines would just be more like fluff that take up time, and we didn't really need them. Again, the visuals speak for themselves. As you're writing, feel free to read the script aloud and time yourself to make sure it's in the 1 to 3 minute mark. And to help you out, here's a basic outline you can follow for your script. Introduce your audience's problem. Establish your product or service as a way to solve that problem. Demonstrate 2 to 5 ways that you solve it, or 2 to 5 steps that you solve it in, and then end with your brand name. So in our video, we introduced the problem just by saying that Max the cat is going to show us how to make a party invitation. The problem is that our audience needs to know how to make short videos like that. You could also introduce the problem by asking your audience a question like, are you spending way too much time and money redecorating your home? Then we establish InVideo as the solution the first time we show the screen recording of the video creation process. Then we show the steps to create the invitation. But what you could also do is show a few of your products that solve the audience's problem. For example, here are 5 super affordable home decor pieces. And then obviously you want to end with your logo and brand name and a strong statement about it. You can find a link to that script template in the description below. And once you have your script, you can go ahead and build a basic storyboard. You can kind of just go line by line and figure out a visual that you want for each sentence. Feel free to do a little drawing, or if that's not your thing, just describe the visual that you want to see. Alright, and then your next step is to record your narration. So for this, you can just use your phone. Even if you don't have a fancy microphone, your phone is going to have pretty good recording quality as long as you hold it pretty close to your mouth. Not too close like this. About half a foot to a foot away is good. And if you're able to record in a closet or a small space like that, that's also going to help. Definitely just make sure you're avoiding large echoey rooms. And if you don't want to record the voiceover yourself, you can always head over to fiverr.com and get a freelancer to record it. Alright, next let's talk about your visuals. You could use animation or live action or a combination of both. Any of those options are fine. In general, I would say that if you have a service, animation might be a good option. If you don't have a tangible product to show, you can visualize it through animation. And then if you do have a product-based business, you want to actually show your product. So in that case, you might want to think about going with live action. Based on our observations, live action videos with animated elements can actually be the best no matter what type of business you have. It's great for retaining your audience's attention, but then it's also nice to see a human to get that connection. A lot of businesses end up going with animation because they think it's an easier and cheaper option, but that's actually a little bit of a misconception. If you're using an online video editor like InVideo, you can create this explainer video within minutes, even if you don't have any video editing experience. You can start with a template, so you can go ahead and find one that's a really good fit for your niche, and then you can layer on motion graphics and animated elements. So we're going to be creating a sample explainer video in InVideo to show you, but before we get to that, let's talk about the types of footage you want. Typically there are 2 types of footage that you're going to want to consider. The first is showing your product or service in motion, basically showing people using it. But for this step, you can also look into using stock footage to make your life a lot easier. You want to get a few basic shots of your actual product if you're able to, and then you can kind of use stock footage as a filler if you need shots of people reacting or just shots to establish your aesthetic. So this is another benefit to using InVideo because it comes with a library of free stock footage, so you don't even have to leave the platform that you're editing on to find stock footage, and you can just edit really easily. More on that later. And the second type of footage you're going to need is screen recordings of your website to show how easy it is to use your service or to order your product. For example, for InVideo, we take screen recordings of the video creation process to show how easy it is. Most computers have built-in software that you can use to record your screen. On a Mac you can use QuickTime, on a Windows device you can use Microsoft Stream, and on a Chromebook you can just go to Capture Screen in the bottom right-hand corner. Once you have your voiceover and media ready, it's time to edit and put all the pieces together. Like I said, we're using InVideo's online editor for two reasons. First, it's super easy to use, and second, it'll give us all the assets we need, such as templates, text boxes, and stickers. If you haven't already signed up for InVideo, I'll have a link in the description. First things first, you'll need to select an aspect ratio based on the platform that you're creating this for. If you want to share it across many platforms, you probably want to choose 16:9, but if you're predominantly sharing it on mobile platforms, then try a 1:1 ratio. Next, feel free to start with a blank canvas or try a template. You can use the search bar to find a template for your industry. Go ahead and search for the name of your industry, or you can try searching explainer and see if you like any of the templates. I'm gonna go ahead and pick this one. If you want to use the same one, you can find the link in the description. Alright, now we're jumping into the editor. So what you want to do now is line up your voiceover file and select background music that you want to play with it. Go ahead and play with the volume. You're going to want to make the music a bit quieter so that the voiceover is the main focus. Then you can start building each scene based on the storyboard that you've already made, and leverage the stock media library from the left panel to add the appropriate video footage. Go ahead and plug in your footage by dragging it onto the scene and replacing the footage that's already there. You can also adjust the time of your scenes to better fit your voiceover. And feel free to add titles and stickers to emphasize certain points. Again, you can find those on the panel on the left-hand side. Once you're done with all your changes, you can preview the full video, and if it's good to go, you can hit export and it should be ready for you to download. And that is how you create a great explainer video for your business. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about how you can use InVideo to create an effective explainer video, click the link in the description below. And if you're looking for more inspiration to market your brand or business, check out this tutorial where I show you how to create a promotional video from scratch.
Đăng ký dùng thử miễn phí phần mềm tạo video tại trang web invideo.design.